Hello everyone. So the next concept that we will be discussing would be acaricides. Now these are the compounds which are used to kill the subclass called as arachnid. That means they would include ticks and mites. Now, acaricides are used both in medicine and agriculture, although the desired selective toxicity differs between the two fields. That means it can be used in the medicine field also and in agriculture, but the quantity that has been used would be differ and the compounds are also different. Acaricide is also called as miticide. Now, this is a pesticide that provides an economic control of pest of mites and ticks. So, acaricides are basically involved to control mites and ticks. Now, these are collectively either called acari or acarina. Ticks and mites, they are collectively called either acari or acarina. Some products can act as insecticides or fungicides as well as acaricides. So we can see that some of the products they can act as both systems like fungicides, they can act as insecticides and mainly they can act as acaricides. This is a pesticide which is used to kill mites and ticks. We have already seen that it is used to kill mites and ticks. Acaricides is classified into five different components. One is chlorinated compound, CN compound, that is C double bond N containing compounds, sulfur compounds, phosphorus compounds, organometallic compounds. So these are the five category under which we will be learning acaricides. Coming to the first component called as chlorinated compounds. An example that we will be learning is chlorophentheon. Now when we see chlorophentheon, the starting material would be, or chlorophenthol, the starting material would be 4,4-dichlorobenzophenone. Here we can see that there is presence of two chlorine component and hence I can see that there is a system containing two chlorines in which we will be trying to understand across this carbonyl carbon what all system could be added. So firstly, I would try to understand 4,4-dichlorobenzophenone. It will react with Grignard reagent like CH3-MgBr. In the Grignard reagent, CH3 minus can be generated. A carbanion can be generated. Now this carbanion can attack onto the carbonyl carbon, giving me an intermediate. Now MgBr would attack onto the oxygen because Mg would be carrying a positive charge. Hence it will go and attack onto the oxygen, giving me an intermediate of the Grignard reagent. Once this intermediate is hydrolyzed, MgBr can be kicked out as MgBrOH and an H can be introduced. Basically, we will be getting a chlorophentheol. In 4,4-dichlorobenzophenone reacts with Grignard reagent to give me an intermediate of the Grignard reagent, adding a methyl group across the carbonyl carbon. Further, upon hydrolysis, it is going to give me chlorophenthol. So that is one of the example for chlorinated compounds in acaricides. Next, coming to the same category of chlorinated compound called as dicophol system. Here, previously whatever we have synthesized, that is chlorophenthol, it reacts with three molecules of chlorine. There is a presence of a methyl group over here which gets, the protons get replaced by three chlorine groups and we get dicophol. Compared to chlorophenthol, there is an excess chlorine present and hence this has got more activity compared to that of chlorophenthol. When we come to a spectroscopic system, in the starting material we'll be able to get a carbonyl carbon in an IR system which looks like a ketone, and in the final compound we will be getting an OH in the range of 3300. All the other systems are observed, all the other protons are observed in an aromatic systems of the benzene ring between 6 to 7. This methyl group, which is almost attached to an OH, will give me a downfield shift in a proton NMR. The OH will be a ditto exchangeable OH. In dicophol system also, we can observe that the presence of OH between 3300 to 3400 can be observed. Previously in chlorophenol, methyl protons would be observed which would not be present in the final product. The protons of the benzene would appear in the range of 6 to 7, and we will be getting in the mass spectrometry 3:1 for chlorine, and in an IR component also these chlorines will be observed in an system which is a fingerprint region. So what is the formula for dicophol? C14H9Cl5O. The chemical name is 2,2,2-trichloro-1,1-bis 4-chlorophenyl ethanol. The appearance is white crystalline solid. It is dicophol is a red, brown or amber viscous liquid. That means on a room temperature, it is going to look like a red, brown or amber viscous liquid with an odor like fresh cut hay. It is stable under cool and dry condition, practically insoluble in water but soluble in organic solvents. The solubility is 0.8 milligram per liter at 25 degrees in water. That means the solubility is very less. Melting point is 78.5 to 79.5 for pure dicophol and 50 degree for technical dicophol. That means which has not been purified completely. Compounds containing C double bond N. The second category of acaricides would be compounds containing with C double bond N. An example is chlorphenamidine. The starting material to synthesize chlorphenamidine is DMF, that is NN-dimethyl formamide. This reacts with 4-chloro-2-methyl aniline to give me a Schiff base. What happens here is lone pair of electrons on NH2 attacks onto the carbonyl carbon of DMF to give me a Schiff base, that is C double bond N, which is going to yield chlorphenamidine. So this chlorphenamidine, it is going to act as an acaricide. In a spectroscopic data, we will be getting two different methyl groups which will be giving a singlet at two different peaks. The aromatic protons would appear between 6 to 7. There is a presence of C double bond N which is observed in an IR, and finally because there is a presence of Cl in mass, we will be looking it into as 3:1 component, as well as in an IR in a fingerprint region will be able to observe. Now these two methyl groups, they will be appearing in the proton NMR, and this methyl group also will appear in the proton NMR at two different systems, because these two methyl groups are attached to nitrogen and hence they give me a de-shielding effect. Next example for an acaricide with a C double bond N is formetanate. Now this formetanate could be synthesized by 3-hydroxyaniline as a starting material which reacts with DMF in the presence of POCl3. In this also, now there is a structure of DMF already given here. What happens is lone pair of electrons attacks onto the DMF in the presence of POCl3 to give me a Schiff base only. This reacts, this component that I will be getting is 3,3-dimethyl aminomethylene iminophenol. Aminomethylene iminophenol system will be synthesized. This reacts with methyl isocyanate, that is CH3 and double bond C double bond O. Now this component, it reacts with methyl isocyanate. Oxygen attacks onto CH3 and double bond C double bond O to give me the final component. At an OH, it will go and attack. Methyl isocyanate would go and attack at an OH to give me formetanate. Now this formetanate is effective against spider mites. Its lethal dose for 50 rats is 24 milligram per kg. Coming to the spectroscopic data, I can see that I'll be able to get a D2 exchangeable NH in a proton NMR because the presence of NH over here. In the benzene system, the protons will appear in the range of 60 to 7. These two methyl groups and this methyl group would give me a de-shielding effect in a proton NMR system. And then in the IR system, there is an amide IR which is observed in the range of 1680. This is how, and then there is a presence of C double bond N which is again observed in an IR. This is how spectroscopically also we can understand about the formetanate system. Coming to compounds with S group, that is sulfur group. Now here the example that I will be considering is tetradiphon. Tetradiphon is synthesized with 2,4,5 trichlorobenzene sulfonyl chloride. 2,4,5 trichlorobenzene sulfonyl chloride reacts with chlorobenzene in the presence of anhydrous AlCl3. Here what happens is SO2Cl, onto which the benzene will go and attack and kicks out Cl as a byproduct called as HCl, and then I will be getting a tetradiphon system. Now this tetradiphon system is a white color crystal with no odor. The industrial tetradiphon is yellow powder with the melting point of 145 to 146 degrees. Now what is this industrial tetradiphon? That is, the melting point is between 120 to 140. Vapor pressure 3.199 into 10 raised to minus 8 Pascal at 20 degrees. So this is what is observed. In the spectroscopic data, we can see that for the mass spectroscopy, there is a presence of Cl over here, and hence everything will be observed in the ratio of 3:1. I will be observing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 protons in an aromatic region between 6 to 7. And in the IR system also, we can observe in the fingerprint region these Cl systems, and benzene would be appearing in the presence of like C double bond C in the range of 2800. So this is how we can finalize the tetradiphon on the spectroscopic data. Next comes organophosphoric compounds. Now, organophosphorus compounds, the first example that we will be looking into is carbophentheon. Now, carbophentheon can be synthesized with a thiol system, that is a benzene thiol system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-chlorobenzyl thiol reacts in the presence of HCl, and it reacts with formaldehyde to give me chloromethyl phenyl sulfide. What happens is this HH now will attack onto the carbonyl carbon of the formaldehyde. In turn, it will be attacked on the Cl to give me chloromethyl phenyl sulfide. This intermediate, which is chloromethyl phenyl sulfide, reacts with sodium diethyl phosphorodithioate. Now, this is a salt. This would attack onto this Cl, that is Cl is kicked out as NaCl, and the sodium diethyl phosphorodithioate gets introduced in the compound, giving me carbophentheon. Spectroscopically, this can be again established in the help of CH2CH3, which is an 5 proton system in the proton NMR. There will be singlets which will be observed, and they will go into the downfield shift. Now this CH2 system will not be a proper singlet. It will be a downfield shift but not a singlet system. This is because it is attached to C3CH3. Now 3 plus 1 4, it will be appearing as a quadrate system for 2 protons. The same system here also, it will be a quadrate for 2 proton systems. Now there is a presence of CH2 over here, which is flinged with 2 sulfur, which is going to give me in a downfield shift. The protons of the benzene system would be in the range of 6 to 7. Chlorine would appear in the mass spectroscopy as 3:1, and finally in an IR in the fingerprint region. In an IR, this CH2 will be appearing in an aliphatic region, and benzene would be appearing in the aromatic region in the range of 2800. Now this will have certain physical and chemical properties. Now carbophentheon is a off-white color or a light amber colored liquid. Boiling point is around 82 degrees and 0.01 millimeter vapor pressure, millimeter of mercury. Vapor pressure 3 into 10 is to minus 7 millimeter of mercury at 20 degrees. Now specific gravity, it has 1.265 to 1.285 at 20 degrees. Molecular weight is 342.85. Refractive index of this particular compound was recorded as 1.590 to 1.597. Solubility, it is highly soluble in water, hence it is a very effective acaricide. Coming to the last component of this acaricide system, these are considered under organometallic compounds or heterocyclic compounds. Pentin hydroxide or thioquinox are considered under the heterocyclic compounds of the acaricides. Now these also have been utilized as an effective acaricides into their salt components. Now in pentin hydroxide, I can observe in an IR spectroscopy, OH between 3300 to 3400. We can observe C double bond S in the IR in thioquinox. Restall system will be observed in an proton NMR for this benzene systems between 6 to 7, and in the C13 I can observe that they will go into a bit downfield shift because of the presence of this metal in pentene hydroxide, which is a tin metal. So in this way acaricides could be studied. Thank you.